So this is Sai Vignan Malayala. So today I will be discussing on simple sentiment analysis using text block Python. Okay, so the importance of sentiment analysis is very first actions we do in any NLP applications. So whoever firstly enters into NLP wants to learn sentiment analysis, and the word itself is very jargon oriented and also very attractive, and also has a lot of use cases in the real time. Okay. Uh, so suppose if you are manager of any product based company, if you're having any e-commerce company or you're selling any products, so as a manager you want to know what kind of products of yours are actually being liked by the users, what is their feedback, what are their ratings and all. So you would by default ask the users to give their survey on their likability, get their feedback and comments, right? Like just like Amazon, if you see, you will be seeing a lot of ratings and comments from different users on different products, right? As a end customer, it's his opinion to give whatever he wants, whatever rating he wants to give, whatever feedback he wants to give, whatever comment he wants to give, he could give just say that it's very great product, it's a bad product, it's wonderful product, it's a awesome product, right? He may also say it's worst worst making, it's worst manufacturer, or whatever he wants, he could say. But it's our responsibility as a product manager to understand what actually is uh, the client or the user is looking for. Is he liking our product? Should we make our changes? Should we do some enhancements in our product, right? So that is importance where we need to understand the sentiment. So suppose he gives the comments like of the product, like he just gives it's wonderful, it's bad, I liked it, uh, it's awesome, worst product ever, worst item ever. He can give whatever. So if there are suppose 1 million comments like this, so as a manager, do you want to go and read each of the comments and understand what is liking, right? Is it the right way to do? No, right? No, right? So you can't read obviously 1 million comments or feedbacks you get from different various people, right? So here is the concept where sentiment analysis comes into picture, where even without reading it, you can get the polarity of different feedbacks or comments you get from the clients. Okay, so you need not manually read. The machine itself helps you to learn, read it and understand, and gives you the polarity or the rating of the customers. Okay, yeah. So here we'll be using something called text block. Text block is a wonderful Python library which is based out of NLP, and it is also built over the library called NLTK. Okay, and it is mostly preferred for good sentiment analysis use cases. Okay, so the input is like basically the corpus of text documents. Okay, so here we will not be using any kind of document term matrices or count vectorizers. See, using document term matrices or count vectorizers don't help you in sentiment analysis, because they don't even consider the surrounding words. Suppose if I say it's a great product, and if I say it's not great product, so then great is taken into picture in document term matrices, but not great, the not has not having a weightage. It doesn't find not great and great, the difference of not great and great differently. Okay, so it is not the right way to use document term matrices or count vectorizers in these kind of scenarios. So we will be using text blob in this use case. Okay, so it's completely based on polarities. So if suppose I say great has positive polarity, and not great has negative polarity. If you use document term matrices, this won't come into picture. This negative and positive with respect to these words. It's very hard. You have to use n-grams. Maybe that could help, but not always. If I have a not great product, then what? The n-gram should be 5, 5 grams. If you use document term matrices, still it's not pretty sure the prediction is good. Okay, so text blob helps you to work with this. So there are two kinds of things in a text blob. One is polarity and one is subjectivity. So the range of the value, the range of polarity is from -1 to 1, and subjectivity is 0 to 1. Okay, so what do you mean by polarity? So if the polarity is positive, that means it's a positive statement. If the polarity is negative, it's a negative statement. If I say it's an awesome product, it takes polarity from 0 to 1. If it's a negative product, if I say it's not a bad, it's a bad product, it takes polarity as negative. So if I have a combinations of multiple words, like it is not a wonderful product, so not wonderful product. Okay, so the positive, negative, and the product, so it takes average of polarities of all the words and gives you the final polarity. So when you give a sentence or a phrase to TextBlob for identification of polarity, it does the average of different words based on polarity and sums them up, or differences them up. So the functionalities of additions and subtractions happen with respect to polarity in TextBlob, and that's how you get the final sentiment. And what is subjectivity? Subjectivity is, TextBlob also helps you to find the subjectivity. In a sense, if the statement is a fact, or if the statement is an opinion. So if the person gives an opinionated statement, then the subjectivity goes towards 1. If he gives facts, then it goes to 0. Suppose if I say today India has 18,900 COVID cases, so it's a fact. Okay, so the subjectivity here is 0. Okay, it is, if it is subjectivity, if I say it's a wonderful weather today, so it is more of opinion, it's my opinion, so it's a subjectivity, it is subjective to something on my own opinion, so the subjectivity is 1 in this case. Okay, that's how you differ polarity and subjectivity in TextBlob. Okay, I'll give an example. Let me install TextBlob firstly. Pip3 install TextBlob. So it's running. Yeah. So now the import is simple. From TextBlob, import TextBlob. Okay, and if I say TextBlob of let me take a sentence. I love NLP. NLP means natural language processing, and I want to get the sentiment of it. Okay, so now I got the sentiment for I love NLP. So the polarity for this complete sentence is 0.5. The subjectivity is 0.6. So it's opinionated. That's why it is towards 1, more of 1. Okay, it's my love towards NLP. That's why it's 0.6, and polarity is 0.5. So it is just I didn't give any likability or something in specific. So I just said love. That's why it is 0.5. It is more of positive. That's why it is positive sentiment, positive polarity. So it is an affirmative or a good rating or a good sentiment. Okay. So how it works, again I'll summarize. So it averages all the polarities and subjectivities of all the words in a phrase or a sentence and gives you the average polarity and subjectivity. So the polarity is positive, it's a positive statement. If it's negative, it is a negative statement. If the subjectivity is more towards one, it's an opinionated statement. If it is more towards zero, it's a fact statement. Okay, and this text blob was developed by a researcher who has no manually no written the polarities and the subjectivities and and even the pivot tags for different words manually, and then finally he had made a corpus based on sentiments. So it's just text blob is just a rule based sentiment analysis uh, you know uh, thing where you're just by rules trying to find the sentiment. It's not having any machine learning approach here. For machine learning approach, if you want to do sentiment analysis, there are good algorithms to start with like naive Bayes and all. But for a rule based one, this text blob is sufficient to go start with. Okay. So if I just say text blob of grade dot sentiment, so the polarity is 0.8. Okay, so it's a positive word or positive no input, and subjectivity is 0.5. Okay, if I say not great, so not great means not is negative word, right? So polarity is negative, so it's a negative input, and subjectivity is 0.5. So because it has no relationship with polarity, subjectivity is always based on the opinions or facts. If I say something like uh, very great, so the polarity is 1 because it was 0.8 great. Very is more of adding to this word, so very great has increased my input. It's like 1, no, it's like fully positive, and subjectivity is 97%. Okay, if I say something like I am great, so uh, you see it is just great. There are no other words having much influence of positivity or negativity. Let me see I am great, so it's ignoring am and I and only giving polarity for great. See, the great polarity is 0.8, subjectivity is 0.75, and the same for I am great also. So it's ignoring the words which doesn't have or add weightage with respect to positivity or negativity in a sentence. Okay, that's how this is working. Okay, fine. So I hope you have understood what is the working of text blob and how it helps you to determine the sentiment. It's a simple use case, but the understanding the mechanism in the backend is very much required, and it's a rule-based one, as I was already affirmed with. Okay, let me take a sample corpus of some authors. Okay, it's a use case basically. I want to work with a use case now. So what I'll do, I have a set of authors, and I want to find the sentiment of the writings of different authors. Okay, so that is the first use case. Okay, I import pandas to read my pickle file. Let me check if it is. So I have a corpus already of authors. I'll just read that. So it's a pickle file, so I'll read it as a pickle. Yeah, so I have read my pickle file. So I have 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 authors, and so this is their transcript, or this is their sample input or sample text. So I want to understand different sentiments of different authors based on what they wrote. So it's not a small sentence. I'll just print one of them. So I'll print so it's a big statement. It's a complete article of this particular author. So it's not one two line sentences. Okay, so let me do sentiment analysis for each of them and understand how is he writing, how this author is writing his articles on what sentiment. Okay, so I have already imported text block, so I need not import now. So now I'll say just polarity equal to, I'll add a lambda function for each of them. Lambda of text. So what should it do? It should do text block of input text dot sentiment dot polarity. Okay, and that is what is polarity, and subjectivity is the same, dot subjectivity. Okay, so I have now all that. So let me alter my data frame. Polarity equal to data frame of, mine is a transcript, right? Transcript dot apply this lambda function, and I want to do same for the subjectivity. And I'll print data frame. So it's running. So for each of these statements, I got polarity and subjectivity. So if I see Ali Wong, based on his writings, the polarity is always positive, and it is not highly positive. It is almost like a neutral kind of thing. Subjectivity is 0.5, so it is like not a fact also, not an opinion also. It is like mediocre thing. So and the polarity is 0.06, so it is like it's positive but almost positive, because it's like almost zero. Polarity is actually from -1 to 1, so it is 0.06, almost like a zero kind of thing, or a 0.1 kind of thing. So it is nearly positive or a neutral kind of thing. Okay, so Ali's writings are neutral. They are not mostly positive or mostly negative. They are neutral kind of thing. And subjectivity is also neutral. They are not highly opinionated or facts. If I see all of them are same. 0.53 is the highest. And in this, if I say only Dave is negative, his writings are negative, kind of neutral negative. Okay, so almost everyone has the same kind of writings, because it's a big topic, big article. Okay, let me do one thing now. Let me do one thing where I just want to find out the reference of each polarities with respect to each other, each author's polarity with respect to each others. So I'll use matplotlib to put a graph on it. Okay. I'll just install. It's installing. Great, it is installed. So I'll just import it. Import matplotlib dot py plot as plt, this is plot, and so I'll set the RC param so that it has proper figure size. Matplotlib, it has already installed, right? Uh, so import matplotlib.pyplot as plt plot.rc params to set the figure size, and the figure size 10 by 8 or so should be sufficient. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so if I just sued for no index comma author in enumerate of my data frame dot index, if I say no, the polarity p equal to data frame dot polarity dot location of author, and the same for subjectivity. These two columns are already there in our no data frame now, if you see. So I'm just reusing them. Um, it's a plot of scatter plot. Some blue color. X plus maybe 0.001. Sorry. The font size can be um, 10. So, and the X limit I'll keep is minus of 0.01, obviously, to 0.1. So the plot title something, sentiment analysis. Okay. Okay, subjectivity displaying issue. Index also is just not a string, it's an input, right? This one. Now if I run this, yeah. So the polarity, if you see, let me do put something else also for your better understanding. The plot dot x label. So as I said, it is from negative to positive, right? and plot dot while label, it's from fact to opinion. Yeah. So it's from negative to positive, positive to negative. So the positivity is high for Mike, no, Birbinglia. Okay, the based on the articles, the highest positive no sentiment occurs from Mike, and highest opinionated talks happen by Anthony, and highest opinionated plus highest positive happen to Bober. Okay, so and the least is for no Dave, or and the least negative is for, I mean, no, least is more of fact oriented by Hassan. So I think Hassan writes more of facts and Anthony writes more of opinions. Okay, and Dave writes more of negative words or negative articles, and Mike writes more of positive articles. So that's how I could say that we have performed some sentiment analysis based on the writings, of the articles by different authors, and then we have concluded who is positive, who is negative, and who is fact and who is opinion or native. Okay, that's how we could work on the sentiment analysis to start with the text block library. Or to make a bigger impact, I'm just what we'll do. I'm just thinking I'll split each of the authors' data into 10 chunks. Okay, like if he has written 100 statements, 10, 10, 10, 10. So from start to end. So I'll see how is he moving from negative to positive or positive to negative. How is he starting with? Is he starting negatively or positively, and how is he ending? Is he start ending positively or ending negatively? So let me do that. It's like kind of a next use case. Okay, um, like understanding the articles, the sentiment, in the routine, from start to end. Let me do this. Okay, so in this case, it's a simple thing. I'll just show you. I might function here. So it is just the thing where I did, where I just trying to split each of the article into 10. So n equal to 10, I'm splitting it, and I'm putting it into the transcript. Okay. So if I just do this, so I got list pieces. So let me say the length of list pieces, it's 12. So I have 12 authors, so I have 12 obviously. So if you see my data frame, so I have 12, each 10, each each is actually 1, but I'm putting into 10 so that I can go to the flow. First he started like this, next like this, and then he is like this. So 12 authors, and now for each author, how many? So 12, right? So of 0. The first author Ali, so he has 10 chunks, and so everyone has 10 chunks. So that's what I did till now. Okay, now I'll start to work on each of the text and print the polarity. Okay, polarity. So the polarity transcript is for each in the list. So I'm trying to take each one and text the sentiment of each and append it to polarity, and I'll just print the polarity. You'll understand what I did. Yeah. So the polarity is for Ali 10 chunks. So it started like positive zero point 0.1, zero point 0.5, 0.13, 0.7, and second one like this, third one. So every chunk has a different polarity. And finally, I got the transcript for everything. I think better I'll show this with the graphs. Okay. So if I do this, it's like the polarity of the with respect to full name of this one happened from, it's like uh, initially decrease and all this. Let me do the for each one. Okay. So it says, if I just plot this, it says the polarity of Ali Wong was initially, near to, uh, no, uh, kind of less, and then it went decreased and increased and decreased and increased. Okay, so with respect to index, that is what is happening. So for in total 10 chunks, the first chunk it was more of positive, and then it went, for the first chunk it went negative, and then I mean no 0.5, and the fourth chunk it was completely negative. Let me see of Ali Wong. So he started with polarity of positive polarity, but later on became neutral, again became positive. This doesn't make much sense, but here you see the difference. Dave, he started negatively and ended up very very high positively. So Dave, I could say, he is the one who writes articles starting negatively and ending positively. Okay, so it's a positive end with a negative start. Okay, even Joe also, he starts neutrally or negatively and again takes you down and again makes you up positively. So I think all of them almost have positive polarities. Like I mean, they end positively. I think maybe if people end negatively, the authors, the articles fail. That's why I think most of them are ending positively. But the stats are differing a lot, right? So this is how I could say, no, you could understand different articles based on polarity, positivity, negativity, and subjectivity. Okay, nice. So that's how it works. Simple analysis. You can just try it out and let us know. Thank you.
To know more, follow and subscribe to Upgrad.